Hey everybody, welcome to the Gentleman Scholars Club. If you're familiar with my channel, if you're watching this video even, you're probably familiar with Suitsupply. Suitsupply for me was a gateway into tailoring, into classic menswear in the 2010s because it offered a combination of interesting textures and fabrics that couldn't be seen elsewhere, fits that took suiting and tailoring out of the boardroom and into more fashionable settings, better fits beyond the loose, baggy suits that I was seeing beforehand, and also was very affordable in terms of price point. If you're familiar with Suitsupply, you also know that they are recognizable by their slim fits. Their tailoring conforms to the body closely. The jackets are cut shorter. The sleeves are short on the tailored jackets. In terms of trousers, the legs are slim, narrow, tapered down to a small leg opening. So Suitsupply really rode the wave of slim fit tailoring in the 2010s, and certainly they contributed to its popularity as well. However, with the coming of the pandemic, people began to look for more relaxed fits, things that are more comfortable and fitting with more casual wear. Also, there's a natural fashion cycle where every 10 years or so, companies reverse trends, right? So if slim fitting was popular for the past decade, now they're going to offer you relaxed cuts to make you buy things that you don't already own. It's exactly what Suitsupply has done, releasing a new ready-to-wear collection of things, tailored items. And they've really been pushing them on social media, Instagram posts, Instagram reels, the videos on Facebook, really emphasizing their new selections that are very different than what they normally have. Now, they offer custom tailoring over the past few years where you can get the suits and sport coats to conform to your body any way you like and adjust the dimensions, the measurements. But this is a ready-to-wear line, and they've gone with some new things here. The reactions online based on comments seem largely positive. People are enthusiastic, excited about it, with the exception of a few who find it to be too radical a departure from what Suitsupply is known for. Today I'll be showing you two items from their new collection of more relaxed tailoring, specifically the Roma jacket and the Sortino trouser. You'll be seeing them on me in the wild, so outside of a professional setting with a professional model. I'll be offering some impressions and observations, and you can judge for yourself what you think of this new direction. So if you've seen the videos on my channel, you know that I prefer tailoring that is more toward the relaxed end rather than really fitted. I like ring jacket, and I size up on that in the Japanese models. For the armory ring jackets, I like the additional drape that it provides in the chest. I like the Anthology, which offers extended shoulders, as does ring jacket. And so I favor that more than fitted clothes, and the Roma appeal to me on that basis. It has a 3-roll 2 construction, something I also gravitate toward, and I thought I would give it a try and see what it looks like. My first impressions in putting it on were actually negative, so I will share with you the cons first, and then we'll go into the pros. The first thing I noticed was the lapels were really wide. And it's larger. The lapels here are wider than any other sport coat that I own. I immediately thought of Orazio Luciano, whose jackets do have wide lapels. But looking at them side by side in images, it seems that Orazio is a little bit smaller even than Suitsupply. The second thing I noticed was that the shoulders were really strong and wide. And maybe you can see that here based on what's captured in the frame of the video. But very strong in terms of the shoulders. They're extended, similar to ring jacket, but more obvious, I think, than what's done there and by the Anthology. So the natural shoulder ends here, but the sleeve heads extend beyond your natural shoulders. There was also pleating on the shoulders, so it folds along here, which actually add to the impression of width, right? The eye goes there because of the pleats, and then you have an impression that the shoulders are even wider. The lapel width also contributes to this because your eye is again drawn to the shoulders, given that the lapels go all the way out and almost reach the shoulders. So the eye drawn there, all of it designed to really emphasize a strong shoulder. It's natural, unpadded, but still very strong in that department. I put this on, went into the other room, showed it to my wife, and she immediately made a joke about the David Byrne Talking Heads video/movie where he wears that massively oversized suit. Obviously not that extreme, and even not as extreme as English tailoring like Edward Sexton with a padded shoulder. But for what it is, for kind of a Italian-influenced jacket, it does have a lot of emphasis to a bold, strong shoulder. Worn closed, it's a little bit less noticeable. If you wear it open, it's even more visible. If you move around, I think you can see how the shoulder looks really makes a strong impression. Right, so you can determine for yourself whether you like this. It's the part of the aesthetic of the jacket. For me, it was a bit shocking. I'll talk about how things developed afterwards, but that was my initial impression. And then if you look at the actual measurements of the shoulders, you'll see that it's larger than Havana by a full inch or more. So adding to that. Beyond that, I did find that the body of the jacket or the waist is not really suppressed, and so it creates more of a boxy cut or boxy impression, and this is again part of the aesthetic that they're going for here, kind of a retro, relaxed look. So you have to decide for yourself what you think of those features, the wide lapel, the emphasis on the shoulders, and more of a boxy cut when making the decision. In terms of the positives, it fits really well. The chest is comfortable, as is the waist. The sleeves are the right length, perfect, don't need any alteration. Similar to ring jacket, where I don't have to adjust the sleeve length. Don't have any collar gapping either, and a lot of times if I wear more fitted jackets, there's collar gapping. I would recommend trying the Roma for yourself. Go to one of the Suitsupply physical locations if there's one located near you, or do what I did, order it by mail, try it on, and give it some time as well. As I wore this for several hours, I found that it grew on me. If you wear it for a while, it starts to be more acceptable because when you first put it on, if you're not familiar with the style, if it's not something you normally wear, you'll usually have a shocked reaction or a negative reaction. But then over time, you adjust your expectations, you adjust your perceptions, and then you can make a more rational, logical decision on whether you like the fit or not. The second part of the discussion of Suitsupply's new relaxed fits is the Sortino trouser. Now, if you watch my channel, you know I prefer high-rise trousers with a pleat, usually one pleat, sometimes double pleats if I'm doing a Gurkha. But I do like to have tapered legs overall. Not skinny legs, but kind of slimming to fit with my body type. The Sortino has completely straight legs, high-rise, and a relaxed fit. I was interested in it because I don't have any high-rise trousers with or without pleats that have belt loops. And there are occasions where I like to put on a belt to play with that style as well, as you can see in some of my images on Instagram. So when I first put this on and I wore it out into the other room to show my wife, again, not mentioning anything about it, her thought was it looked like sailor pants and something that sailors would wear, a really loose cut. And that is also enhanced by the self belt that is included. Self belt is a belt that's made from the same fabric as the trousers. And it's really interesting, I guess. You can wear it sort of hanging down in a casual way, similar to the way you might wear a necktie as a belt, but maybe not taking it that far in terms of stylistic boldness, because it's the same color as a belt. So you can wear it that way with a polo shirt, as I did. But I did have as well that kind of retro impression in wearing these. It reminded me of Gene Kelly in American in Paris, where he wears these really broad-legged trousers and dances around that way. Usually I wear my trousers size 32 or 48 EU with about an 8-inch max leg opening. I've done 8.5 on some trousers and actually have sold those off because I find the leg opening to be too wide. These have an 8.75 leg opening for the same size, so really wide leg. And it fits with kind of the trend today of having legs of trousers cover up a lot of the shoe, even if they're cut with no break, kind of covering the front portion of the shoe. All right, so that was another impression that I had of it. Not really a fan of that look. So sending it back. But if you like these loose fits, perhaps similar to what's sold by Cass Atlantic and other brands along the same lines, this might be something you would try out. I did like the high rise overall and the double pleats. And you can look at these images and videos and so forth to see what you think. Wanted to share that, get your impressions. So what do you think of Suitsupply's new direction? Is it something you like, or would you prefer to stick with more tailored, tapered, and fitted cuts? If not slim, then somewhere in between. If you found the video useful, like it, and subscribe to us at the Gentleman Scholars Club for more discussion of niche topics, style ideas, brands, from an academic angle, and in a way that isn't done on other menswear channels. As always, thanks for viewing.